10th named storm this winter. This one's Jocelyn. It hits tonight. It's on its way to the country. Heavy rains and strong winds are expected. The Met Office has issued a danger to life alert as the whole storm brews. Let's go to our Northern Ireland reporter Dougie Beattie and GBNews reporter Jack Carson. Dougie, still dark where you are, of course. And the thing that gets me, Dougie, we've got this public sector workers' strike as well. We've got a whole problem of clearing debris off the roads. We've got. You tell us what the problems are with another storm knocking on the door.
Yes, well, hello and welcome to Carryduff. This is the main road between Carryduff, Saintfield, Crossgar, down Patrick, and brings in a very large amount of traffic into Belfast every morning. But the remnants of the storm that was here before, I'll just move out of the way and show you. This huge tree is straight across the road here in Northern Ireland. It is causing, well, you can see no traffic can get through here at all. But the real problem with this is, Eamon, that the tree itself has been brought down across electricity lines. It is still very dark, and I don't know if the cameraman can just pick that up there. You can see up in the corner there, the electric lines have been caught in this tree, and they have came down and they're through the tree. So what happens now is the electricity board will not cut these trees up because they can't. That's a specialist job, and it is the job of the Forestry Commission to do that. And of course they are on strike, so the main road remains blocked. Lots of money being lost going into Belfast because of course those workers cannot get to work, and the roads that they're being put around are B roads. I mean, there is quite a sizable diversion, and that's not just here in Carryduff. That is right around Northern Ireland. There is some cars still caught under trees, etc., on the Ballygowan Road going into Belfast. So while that goes on, the electricity workers cannot get power back to those people. You can imagine this line is coming from this side of Carryduff straight across into the rural areas before it heads on down towards Monterey. So there's loads of people still without power, and Jocelyn is on its way in tonight. The rain has really started here quite heavily actually, and it is going to cause more problems.
Dougie's painting you a picture there of commuter belt area of a part of Belfast there, how people live just on the outskirts of Belfast and make their way into the city. We now move to
Jack Carson, who's in Porthcawl for us. Good morning to you, Jack.
Yeah, good morning. Here on the coast at Porthcawl, the wind is really whipping up here. I mean, I was here a few weeks ago also covering the bad weather we were having then, but the wind already today certainly much quicker than it was at any point where I was here just a few weeks ago. Now, the yellow weather warning for wind in this part of South Wales doesn't even come into effect from the Met Office until 12 o'clock today. It runs until Wednesday afternoon, but the wind already whipping up a little bit of a mini storm here on the coastline. The rain isn't too bad so far here this morning, but that wind really whipping up the spray from the sea. We know around parts of Wales, particularly yesterday between Swansea and Shrewsbury, Transport for Wales had to put on replacement bus services because of problems on the lines there, and there are still major delays expected around Llandudno as well this morning. So again, for the people that are looking to travel on those railway networks to commute to work and go about their business, of course it is advised to check before you travel, because as Dougie was mentioning, as you saw with Dougie there in Northern Ireland with the tree across the road, it is those kind of disruptions, whether it's in some parts of England. Yesterday we saw greenhouses on parts of the railway lines, fallen trees as well. Fallen trees have been all over here in Wales, particularly on those more rural roads, on those B roads, but the railway network's working overnight to try and get many of their services and delays out of course out of the system. Now, Storm Jocelyn is the 10th named storm of this season. We only need 2 more storms between now and August for it to be one of the busiest storm seasons. So, yeah, that impact of Storm Jocelyn set to hit the UK today.
Cheers, Jack. Thank you very much indeed. And Dougie, when we come back to you again, fallen trees are going to feature very prominently in what you're talking about. Just give people an indication of these special trees we're talking about.
Well, these are the dark hedges. They were brought to fame by many films, and including the Game of Thrones. They are 250 years old, and 3 of them came down in the storm yesterday, rather sadly. And these trees, anybody that sees them will know them that have watched the Game of Thrones and many feature films. They come beautifully across the road. They were planted there for basically to hold up the road. The roots of these trees grow onto the roads, and they keep the road from sinking down in. But they were for a big stately home back 250 years ago, and unfortunately some of them are now down.
And hopefully a bit more light to see all of that, Dougie, later on. Jack, Dougie, thank you both very much indeed.